Hey, welcome to another very exciting week of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. It is the last week of my Women's History Month series, just a couple of days until March, but I've had an incredible time, as always, with with this series each and every year. But like I said, we do not stop celebrating the women of all genres of sports and media and podcasting and broadcasting and uh, business and everything too. So like I said, I got a few more guests this week, so let's go. All right, welcome back again with another great episode of the Real Deal podcast. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Glad to be back with another incredible week of great episodes of the Real Deal podcast. You can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether Spotify, Apple. We're on Spreaker.com, BS3TVLive.com, BS3 Network on the Roku channel as well, iHeartRadio. Like I said, wherever you consume podcasts, and we're also on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. Follow the show at Get the Real Deal on all podcast and social media platforms. So again, this is the Women's History Month, the last couple of days, but we do not stop celebrating the women in this space. So I got another incredible guest on the show. So I'm going to bring her in as we speak. I have Bree Williams, country club athlete, golfer, does a little bit of everything, content creation and everything too. We're gonna get into her story, highlight her and everything too. So Bree Williams, thank you for coming onto the show. Really appreciate it.
Hi, Courtney. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Yes, I'm excited to have you on, and it's been so glad to meet you and reached out to
Yes.
you, and you accepted it. So again, I just wanted to get you on the Real Deal Women's History Month series. So
Yeah.
thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm honored. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's get into this. And I wanted to ask you first and foremost, I asked all my first guests, who is Bree Williams? I'll talk a little about your background and how you got started. And well, we'll start with your just a quick intro of who is
Yeah.
Bree Williams.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Bree Williams. I live in Southern California in San Diego. I've been an athlete all my life. Right now, I'm currently a content creator in the golf industry.
Yeah.
I've grew up playing softball, mostly tennis. So I was a tennis player, collegiate athlete. So tennis was my number one love. And then after college, I was bored of it and I just needed another drive. And I found golf through
Yeah.
through breakups and through needing, more women in my life. And I found the sport of golf and I just fell in love with it. And then I started content creating and started meeting the most amazing people through social media or on the golf course. And it kind of just blossomed from there. I am a full-time mom. I don't work in sports full-time and work in bioscience. So I'm the science industry. So I do a little bit of everything right now.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's a lot of layers here, so we're gonna.
So many, I know.
No, that was good. It's great. No, I love that, and I love that about. I was in my first time guest, especially. I asked them, just a little bit of their background and just to see how you got started and all the things you've done and do things like that. So you say you're in bioscience,
Yeah,
and
so
everything.
we're a bioscience team. I
Yeah.
do nothing with sports right now. So my
Right.
love is sports. Maybe one day I'll go into sports, but right now
Yeah.
I'm our team assistant for our bioscience team here in San Diego. I work for a company called BP, British Petroleum, and so I work with a lot of very intelligent, smart people, a lot of scientists, and it's fun. And then
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the golf course Torrey Pines in San
Yes.
Diego, but
Hmm.
our office is directly across the street, so it's very
Wow.
tempting to go jump on the golf course every day. And so I just sit in the office sad, staring
Yeah.
at the golf course.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's great. I mean, you said bioscience. That's why I say I want to, get into a little tap into a little bit of that. And it's right, like you said, right across the street from Torrey Pines, the famous Torrey Pines course
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well. So I just that has to be sort of distracting. Like I want to get, like you say, I want to get on the golf course, but
yeah.
I'm
It's
doing
very
my job.
distracting.
Yeah.
I know. So we're in science, and then sometimes I'll try to jump away for lunch and go hit balls on the golf course or on the driving range, then come back. So uh, yeah, it's good.
No,
I'm
that's
lucky.
that's that's really good. No, as you said, you have your real. I say your job is bioscience, which I find that's fascinating. And also, you said you played tennis. Uh, how was that? Like, how was the tennis ground? You said you got bored of it, but that's was your first love.
I
Or
mean,
anything?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
How you get into
sports
that?
has always been my love. So I'm from a family of three girls. My dad was a very good athlete, baseball player, football player. And so when he had three girls, we were not allowed to cheerlead. We were not allowed to do dance. We were
Okay.
forced into sports. He was like, you guys are going to be athletes no matter what. So growing
Hmm.
up, we all played different sports. And I fell in love with tennis, and we were very fortunate. We had a tennis court close to our house, and so I would walk down every day, and it was a sport where I could go by myself and hit off like a ball machine. I can go serve, and then or I could also take lessons. So my parents put me in lessons, and the coach was like, you know what, she's actually pretty good. And so I started
Yeah.
a little bit late. I started in middle school. So I was kind of a late bloomer, was put into tennis, and I just fed off of it. So I played in high school, and then I went to junior college. And from junior college, I still played tennis. And then I got recruited to a team from Arkansas Tech University.
Okay.
I didn't even know I could play tennis in college. Came to me and said, "Actually, you're pretty good. You could get your college paid for." And I was just like mind blown. I'm like, "Well, then, yeah, let's go to
Let's do it. Yeah. Right.
that sounds fun." Arkansas is a very different world. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Never been to Arkansas, but I'm
Okay.
sure from California to yeah.
It was a culture shock from San Diego, but I stuck it out for, the 4 years and then came back. So, but yeah, I've always played tennis. And when I had my daughter, I started playing again. And then we became members of a had a tennis membership. And
Yeah.
there was a golf course. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to walk the golf course too. And so I started jumping on the course as well.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Mhm.
as you said, it just shows some versatility as well. With starting from tennis and then now just transitioning into golf. Where did that love you alluded to a little bit? Where did the love of golf come from? After that, like you said, from tennis to golf, because two totally different sports.
Totally different sports, yeah.
Yeah.
So during COVID, I know
Mm.
there's a lot of COVID golfers out there. So when you meet people on the golf course, you usually say, "Oh, are you a COVID golfer or are you just a regular golfer?"
Okay.
There's just only two. So I'm one of the COVID golfers. So back in the day during COVID, I was dating someone, and we would go break into golf courses because everything was closed over here. And so when we had nothing
Yeah.
to do, we'd just go walk the course just to get outside, get away from people. And so we'd have our golf bags and we would just go walk the greens, and we'd do that for hours and hours. So I started falling in love with it. And then sad story. I mean, the guy broke up, and I was like, wait, I have no one to go golfing with. And I am just obsessed with this sport. And now everything's starting to open back up, and I want to golf. And then I was approached I saw something on social media called Babes Golf. And Babes Golf was a women's club who gets women into sports, or
Okay.
not sports, but women into golf. And so I did a few tournaments, and I did a few meetups with this team. And it was just women, like maybe 200 plus women, of just
Wow.
people who wanted to join golf, didn't know anything about golf, maybe had golfed their whole life. And I just got hooked.
Mm.
So that's kind of how I started.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, so that's interesting because you said to transition from again tennis to golf, and then just you said you just had the love for it. You started to
It's just,
play,
yeah,
you walk the courses and things like that. And now you're
yeah,
here and you're making content too. But before we get into the golf content, and I want to ask you about the, women in golf and its growth of what you've seen over the years too. You say you're a full-time mother, and I know that's the most important, I'm sure the most important thing in your life too is being a full-time mother. And how do you balance, if there is that word balance, of making of you, I mean, you do what you do because you're a mother, you work,
yeah.
content creation and everything too. That's just life in general. But we'll talk about the balance and in your day to day when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a balance.
Yeah.
My life is very hectic, but it's
Yeah.
so fun, and that's something that golf is something that brings me a ton of joy. So my daughter is my life. Obviously,
Yes.
she's like my everything. So it's being a full-time mom, working, and then sneaking off to the golf course to make content. But like a lot of it is I love bringing my daughter on the course. She's slowly like
Mm,
learning to be obsessed with golf as well. So it's nice. And ever since she was a baby, I would just throw her in the golf cart. She was in
yeah.
her little high chair or her little booster seat on the golf court or on the cart, and then she would come walk with me, and then she would hold on, to the back. And so she's always been immersed in golf. I never really wanted to force it on her. Golf is kind of boring for kids sometimes. So,
Yeah.
if she got to like drive the golf cart, it was super exciting. Or, she got to bring her snacks and she got to hit a few or what have you. So, yeah, she's a huge part of my content creating. I don't put her on social media that much, but she sees
Yeah.
all this, really cool swag come to the door. And she's like, I want cool golf shoes and I want cool outfits and I want to go on the golf course with you. So she's slowly just falling in love with it as well. And she sees me do amazing things like, just like podcasting and putting
Yeah.
myself out there in tournaments. And so yeah, a full-time mom working, and it's a hard balance, but
Yeah.
every hour is accounted for, and I'm truly blessed to be able to do it all.
Right, as you said, your daughter's your world, and you said
Yeah, of
your mother first, and that I'm sure that comes
course.
first, and everything else just falls in place with that, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the videos that I have, you can't see her, but she's running, doing sprints across the golf
yeah,
course, or
yeah,
she's driving the golf cart, or sometimes she's like, "Okay, mom," pushing the record button. Like she's my teammate, she's my biggest supporter, so I'm really grateful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's I'm sure, and I'm sure it's great to, like I said, have your daughter there with you
Mhm.
when she sees her mother working and sees her mother doing all these things, and that does say it's something to look forward to for her to look forward to as
Yeah, I
well.
just want to inspire her. Even like
Yeah.
before this, we were talking, and she's like, "You inspire me, mom. I want to be like you when you grow
Oh,
up." And it's just,
yeah.
it's an amazing feeling, and I just
Yeah.
want to show her that girls, women are badasses. We can do whatever we want. Is if you
Right.
want to do it, go do it. Go try. Like failing, if you fail, that's the most amazing thing. Like you fail forward all the time. So I show her like not all my stuff works, and not it's just an experience. It's just like the best thing to be able to say, I want to try that and actually be able to do it. And I hopefully I inspire her and young women to play sports and try to beat the boys, just like, you know,
Yeah.
that's the main thing. You want to beat the boys. So, we can be
Yeah.
good at sports too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Definitely. And the it's transition into that, with young women or women in general in golf and its growth. And I see so much women in golf, the content, the professionals and everything too, but the growth of it, and you're seeing so much of it. Talk about that, of what you've seen, and being part of that, the growth of inspiring young women to get into the golf space, to be content creators, and even content creators, and where you see that continue to that growth to keep
Yeah, that
going.
growth. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, content creating is an amazing thing, especially for golf. Golf is a lot of people don't watch golf on TV. Sometimes it's boring, or they don't want to go to a golf tournament. It's just maybe hard to get to, or it's expensive. Golf is an
yeah.
extremely expensive sport, so
Mm.
content creating has kind of opened people's minds of like how to get onto the golf courses, maybe for a more reasonable. You go to the later tee times, or or it shows it, I get a lot of lessons from content creators showing lessons. So you're getting that for free. You're getting course recommendations. You're meeting people, not just on the golf course, but through social media. A lot of people I meet these days are through social media, and we go make content afterwards. I would have never met these people, on the golf course or around the world. I've met the most amazing people through social media. And so I think that it's opened up a whole venue for golfers, and it's getting more women involved. Golf is a male dominated sport. There are so many guys that golf. And so it's very, very intimidating for women to start, and they don't know where to start. So I like, for my content is, and what I want to push more is to get women, like show women it can be easy. You can go to the driving range, you can get lessons, maybe do like group lessons, and it doesn't have to be super expensive. Golf is also, very expensive. If, some of these professionals are charging hundreds of dollars an hour, that's not realistic for someone who wants to pick up a club. So getting lessons through social media and these content creators, or saying, hey, we're all doing a driving range meetup. It's $10 to come meet some great women, come hit balls with us, and then let's go grab a drink afterwards. It's like, it's just like opening it up so it's not super stuffy. But yeah, content creating is it's opened up a whole new world for me, especially in golf.
Yeah, and I see a lot of content creators. And you said it's fun. It's meeting together, networking, just coming together. And you said you're meeting people on social media, or meetup, or at a tournament or something like that. Or that a lot of people want to have content, want to do content. They, like I said, they don't know where to start. They want to start a podcast. Whether you said, hey, if you're into golf or you're into any sport and you're doing that, that's content. So just put out some content. They don't have to be long form or anything like that. Just do something that you might want to teach a lesson for a couple minutes, your swing or something like that.
Or just I mean, even like showing your outfit. A lot of girls follow you for your like clothing, and I another reason why it was easy for me to transition from tennis to golf, because I already had a lot of exercise clothes from tennis. I had the tennis skirts and the tennis shirts, and yes, a lot of the things don't transition. Tennis skirts are usually not allowed on the golf courses. So I think breaking the boundaries a little bit there. Golf is starting to become more fashion forward. It's starting to be, you don't have to wear the long skirts above your knee and the stuffy collars. It's opening up a little bit. So being able to put that on social media and show like you can still look classy, but not a frumpy golfer. And I think more women are starting to see, oh wow, you can it's more fashion forward. And with content creating, there's brands that are just skyrocketing right now and opening up that fashion world for golfers.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I was going to ask, that was going to be one of my questions about the fashion and of golf, and how would you define, you say kind of a little bit your fashion, which you're very fashionable, and and how would you define your fashion when it comes to the golf course, or on golf courses and just in general?
Like I said, I've always worn tennis skirts, and at first that's how I started. It was like, oh, the cute outfits, and I'm here, on this golf course. But I've also been on golf courses where the managers have come to me and said, you cannot wear that skirt on this course. You need to go to the pro shop and go purchase another one. So I've hit a lot of realities and been like, okay, it's just fashion in golf. It's changing. Like I said, I've worked with a lot of great brands, Adidas and, so and for it. And it's finally changing, and it's just like, it's a beautiful thing to see. Like I said, golf is a very older, stuffy sport, so it's finally changing, and we're finally doing it.
So you guys are just pushing forward with it too, which
we're pushing forward.
I love it. Yeah, like I said, we're not in the 60s and 70s. Right. Not in that anymore. It's 2025, and Yeah, yes, I've heard and seen so many golf is still the old school and things like that, but it's evolving slowly but surely. It's evolving, and
Slowly, very slowly but surely. But yeah,
yeah,
most of the women are loving the new outfits that are coming out, and I'm really happy with these brands. And I love, my favorite thing was a brand that wants me to represent, their clothing on the golf course or at a tournament. And that's my favorite thing to do. And, support any, especially women brands. A lot of these golf brands that are coming out for women are women owned. And it's like, it's the most amazing thing. So
yeah.
anything I can do, I just love that.
I love that. Just keep pushing the boundaries, keep pushing it forward, and just
Mhm.
uh, tearing down the doors. Just tearing down the open doors. Like, hey, we're here to stay, and we're not going
Mhm.
anywhere. Yeah, I love that. And um,
Yeah.
talk a little bit about some of your favorite moments in your in golf creation, or maybe some of your favorite places. What's some of your favorite tournaments? Any of that thing. Some of your favorite moments in golf.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, content creating has opened up a lot of doors for me. I have started to go to a lot of golf tournaments, and golf tournaments are all over the US and the
Yeah.
world. But so this year already, through social media, I've been able to meet a bunch of brands, network, maybe wear their clothes, or they were able to sponsor me to go to tournaments and wear their clothes. And that's like my favorite thing, because then you meet all these different people and you're wearing the clothes, and then you're at these like events and you're networking. Golf is a huge networking business,
Right.
and so many businesses open up on the golf course. And I've never realized it until I actually started doing it. But yeah, so like this year, we started out at Farmers Open, which is in San Diego.
Hmm.
Then we went to Waste Management, which was in Arizona. And then we went to the tournament back. The Genesis was back in San Diego. It was usually in LA, but with the fires, they moved it to San Diego. So we were there. I just got done with the Hogue tournament, which was in Newport Beach. So we did some amazing press days, and there were athletes there. So I was able to interview the celebrities. And so it's just, these last few months have been so busy, but so amazing. I am so grateful for all the people I've met. I've just met the most amazing people.
Yeah, that.
But yeah, the tournaments. Oh, sorry, go for it. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, no, no. I was gonna say keep going. I was gonna just say, yeah, I was say he said the people, the networking. I'm sure the travel's great, and probably a lot too. But
Yeah.
you enjoy doing it because you said you're creating content. So yeah, you've been on a lot of different some of your favorite courses. I'm sure. Are you going to Augusta too, to the Masters, or
Oh my gosh, no, I wish.
nah, me too.
I wish. That's a very hard ticket to find.
Yes, it is.
That's a very hard ticket to get.
Hmm.
Maybe next year, but right now I don't have any plans. Usually with my Babes Golf organization, we usually go to Vegas and we throw a Masters party for
Okay.
the Circa Hotel. So the last 2 years I've been in Vegas, did Circa Hotel like press and videos, and we would do a watch party with a bunch of golf women. But this year we're not doing it, so I'll be watching it from home.
Oh, okay, all right. No, sometimes the best time to watch it from home. It's
Yeah,
over.
you can actually see what's going on from home at these
Right.
tournaments. It's hard to see what's happening if it's not on
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah. And that's one of my too. That's one of my things. I want to definitely go I want to go to the Masters, or that would be
Right?
it. But you're right. There's a couple things. It's expensive, and it's a hard ticket to get because you have to like probably try like now for next year just to try to get
Oh, yeah,
you
you already have to be putting in, it's a lottery.
lottery.
So
Yeah.
these
Right.
tickets are all lottery. Supposedly, I was looking it up with a friend 2 days ago, and you can buy them. They're $4,000 a ticket.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that, and someone else was. I just had someone on the show a couple weeks ago, and
Mhm.
we were talking about. I think we were talking about the Masters, and they were saying how it is a lottery. They were gonna. Oh yeah, they were gonna take their dad with them, and
Uh-huh.
they were like, yeah, the lottery, and you said $4,000. They were like, nah, I don't think so. We
Yeah.
gotta wait on that.
One day, well, yeah, next year we'll manifest that and put it in the universe. Next
Yeah,
year, we want to go.
next year, maybe next year or the next year, something, the next couple
Yeah.
of years. Yeah, it's a, that's a, they said that's a tough tournament to
That's
get to.
that's the tough one. Yeah, tough
Yeah.
tournament. But I'll do the local ones. And one thing I do want to go to this year is like the live tournaments, and that's
Hmm.
another program that's
Yep.
opened up. These tournaments are breaking the barriers. Live, they have loud tournaments. They have it's just a different. They have DJs there. People are
It's like a
celebrating. People are
party.
loud. People are partying, and it's just completely different than the PGA. And so I definitely want to check out a live tournament this year. I have not been yet, so that's on my list.
Okay, yeah, live is a totally different vibe when it
Yeah.
comes to yeah, their tournaments and everything too. It says DJ music and things like it's like a
Hmm.
party
It's like a
compared to the
party. It's
PGA.
just different. Yeah, I
Yeah, a
think
little
it'd
different.
be kind of fun to check it out. Just
Yeah, for sure.
say I've done
R-
it.
Right, right, right. I just got a couple more I wanted to ask you about
Yeah.
um the golf media and the PGA and Live and they're trying to make a deal. What was your thoughts on when Live started a couple years ago now and how golf media has um how that's covered it and there seems like it's still separate. You have the people that love golf or love live and the others that love the PGA. They swear by the PGA, they swear by live. But what's your take on how golf media has covered that and the two companies, the PGA and live, how that's will they make a deal, do you feel?
Yeah, I don't know. I really hope I think they're in the works to make a deal. I
Yeah.
don't know if Liv is doing as well as they thought it was going to. I
Mm,
could completely be wrong, but yeah, it was a shock to the world when they announced that there was going to be two different, tours, and they were, slowly taking these players and feeding them a ton of money that they
ton of
couldn't
money.
say no to. And so, I think it split the golf world, and it's either you're a PGA fan, or you're a live fan, and it's just like kind of people are starting to argue and fight, and people are
Yeah.
really passionate about it. Golf, it's their life. And so it kind of put a barrier between these two tours, and it's very unfortunate. I hope that they can come together and build a bridge where they can all play tournaments again together, and it's a little bit more fair. But for right now, there's a lot of separation, and it's unfortunate, but I think in the end, hopefully everyone will come together and stop fighting.
Yeah, stop fighting, right? Because
Seriously, we
there's
don't
so
need
much.
any more of that in our
You're right.
world.
No, no, we do not. Yeah, I agree with that. And it's there's so much money involved, and that's what it kind of came down
So
to.
much
It's like
money.
so
Yeah.
much money, and some of the players wanted the PGA to change and make some changes, and Liv comes in and sweeps up some of the big name
Some,
athletes, and
yeah, the best players. And then these people that were huge fans started to not be fans anymore because they went to live. And it's just
yeah,
like, it's just, I don't know, it's a terrible thing. But some of the money that they were getting, it's like you ask other people, well, if they gave you that money, would you go? And most people are like, yeah, that's
yeah,
going to take care of my family for
right,
decades,
yeah,
or,
yeah,
years and generations.
lifetime, generations. You're
Lifetimes,
right.
several
Hmm.
life generations. So it's like I understand. When if you put
Yeah,
yourself in that position, and
yeah,
get
for
it.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of money involved, and I mean, if the reports from a couple years ago when Tiger Woods was, I guess he had got an offer for like 700-800 million, maybe even a billion, right? Was it one
Oh no,
billion?
I think it was over a
A
billion.
billion, yeah. So
Yeah,
you're
it
talking
was a
between eight
lot.
hundred million to a billion, and I'm sure he would have got that, especially if Phil Mickelson got somewhere in between what 5 to 700 million, something like
Yeah,
that,
something
something
crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
I mean, and so that's why I think a lot of people just respect Tiger Woods. He's the greatest. But for
yeah,
him to say, no, I don't need that money. I'm gonna stick with the PGA because that's
mhm,
who built my career, and that's like who I am as a
yeah,
person. And I don't need that money. It's not gonna do anything for me. I'm like,
mm,
we all
yeah.
respect Tiger Woods, especially after that. So
Yeah, especially after that. Yeah. So yeah,
mhm.
I hope that they are able to come up with something, and
Yeah.
I know they're in talks, and just bring because that's what we want love to see just as fans, the
Mhm.
best players playing at these tournaments against each other, and
Yeah.
so that's for sure. All right, two more,
Yes.
and then I'll let you go. I want to, if you were the commissioner of golf, the PGA, or anything, what changes would you make?
Oh man. I think that I would try to, and I'm not trying to bring up the live golf thing, but I think I would move towards more of an environment that's more inviting, not super stuffy, not super pinky up and, very quiet. When you go to these tournaments, you can't say anything and you have to, it's very proper. And I know that
Yeah.
that's been golf forever. So I understand that. But I think just starting to make the changes with like the clothing and then being acceptable to like not party, but just make it a
Mm.
more friendly environment. Just I don't know. Golf needs to change more, and I think the PGA is kind of stuck in an older generation, and I don't know what changes could happen to make that, that change. But I think just making it more friendly and more, maybe
Yeah.
more even reasonable for people to go. It's still, tickets are pretty expensive. If you want to bring your family, you're going to be paying a couple $100s for the day. And, just making it friendly and more open, like inviting for everyone.
Absolutely. I like that. And yeah, I think that if you like I said, if you were commissioner, you did that. And I'm sure also more access to for content creators to
Yeah.
to get coverage, bring them on. And I think that's for all sports, bring more content creators to to have access, to have these media credentials.
Yeah.
It's hard to get media
Oh yeah.
credentials.
You
uh
cannot get a media pass. It's you have to,
mhm.
yeah, and content creators are what are showing you're showing the real PGA, you're showing the
Yeah.
tournament, you're showing the fans, you're showing what it's actually like. There are a lot of
Yep.
people that can't go to these tournaments. So, content creators, yes, we do have our video cameras. We're showing you, what it's actually like to
Yeah.
be in this experience and yeah, it's opening up a whole nother world for
Yeah.
viewers.
Yes, I agree 100%. I think I would do that too. I would have content creators like yourself and just just invite yes, you want national media, you want the local media. Yes, you want them, yes, they'll get it too, but have
Mhm.
other, you know, do a
Show
routine
other
of
views. Yeah.
routine of content creators, give them access to be able to show behind the scenes, show different tournaments on the men's and women's side. I would
Mhm.
definitely have that and give them an outlet to be able to show that other side, because you get content that the national media might not be, or national networks can't get, you
Oh
know
yeah,
you know
definitely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's part of our job is
yeah.
showcasing what they have from like the food and drinks they're serving to,
Hmm.
who whatever different kind of tents. Like I love
Right.
going to the different kinds of tents in the different tournaments. They're all so different. So going from one tent to the next tent and showcasing what they have to offer,
Yeah.
just part of the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. I love that. That's why
Hmm.
I love seeing that when it comes to when we do get other access, not just from said from the national media outlets, more with the content creators, and then they're able to show that side of it. They show a different story. It's a storytelling, and
It's a
we're
storytelling,
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
yeah,
that's what your followers want, and they follow you for how you do share, tell your story and
yeah,
the experiences you get to do and the people you meet and a
yes,
lot of people it's just like that's just part of the fun. Oh, she got to go and like interview these celebrity athletes at this tournament. Oh cool, like what did they shoot? Oh, they actually aren't good at golf, but they're
right.
having out their fun out there and people like to see that interaction and yeah, it's all fun.
Yes, and like you said, you might get an interview with someone like Steph Curry, who's a huge, I mean, golf fan, and um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and everything, and plays golf and all that, and might be able to get an interview with him,
Hmm.
and you're like, wow, how did what do you think of this, Steph, and what do and things like that. That
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. It shows a different side to everyone. Yeah,
everyone,
golf
yeah,
brings different athletes together.
yeah,
It's
that
it's
I
really
love that.
really cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm making you commissioner for the next 20 years of golf content and just in golf. So you have my,
Yeah, I
if
love
I
it.
had some pull, I'll make you the make you
Oh,
commissioner.
please, yeah, please. Then help me go to the Masters.
Yeah, there you
We'll
go.
go
And then yes,
against
you
each
get
other.
media passes to the match as a fan or media, whatever you want to do. I'll give you that. That would be cool
I love
for
it.
sure. All right, last
Good.
one, and this is Women's History Month, and I wanted to feature you and highlight you, what you do, and the incredible things you're doing. In the content space and in golf and just in general. But what does Women's History Month mean to you on a professional and personal level?
Yeah. I mean, we're doing big things right now. I think there's a movement happening, and women can do anything they want. I always teach my daughter. Right now, she's like, I'm going to be the next, president of the United States. And I'm like, of course you are. Of course you are. Women can do anything.
Yes.
Like right now in my bioscience world, it's mostly women. We predominantly hire equal men and women. And in sports, it's like I hang out with mostly women. It's like we can do anything that males can, if not better.
Yeah.
And that's like in the sport. Like I want to teach my daughter and the younger generation to be able to beat boys. You can compete just as well, if not better.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter, male or female. Like you are a badass. Women can do amazing things. So I like really again appreciate you having me on and to like support the women and support the women in golf and show that we can do it too.
Absolutely, yes, and I'm glad to, like I said, to have you on. And like I said, this is not the one time that that we celebrate women. It's not just the 1 month. It's
No.
Women History Year, Women History Years, and
Mm-hmm.
but I appreciate you coming on here and doing this. And like I said, it was a pleasure and
Yeah.
to meet you on social media and they said to highlight and share your story, and I'm glad that
Yeah.
we was able to do this. But let everyone know where they can follow you, ask you a question, or how to get into golf
Yeah.
content creation. Yeah, so all your social medias.
Yeah. Golf Girl Bree is my social media. And yeah, I encourage everyone to reach out and ask me questions about how to get into golf or how I started or any kind of golf questions. I would be able to direct you in the right way and be able to talk to you about it. I love meeting people on social media. That's how we met.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it's just amazing to make that connection, and hopefully I can meet more people on the golf course through social media and work with everyone and you know more women. We need to put more women on the golf course, so
Yeah.
that's what we're
Yes.
trying to do.
That's what you're pushing forward to, yes, and keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing.
Hmm.
Like I said, you do a lot of great things in the in the content creation space as well. And yeah,
Thank you.
it was a pleasure. And I know before I let you go, you said you was going to start your podcast. What's your podcast? If you can say a little bit about it. I know you say it might be still in the beginning stages, but
Yeah.
what's the podcast?
Yeah.
What's the podcast going to be about?
It's just going to be about women on the golf course. It's
Okay.
going to be women inspired. I want to sit down and talk to women and just hear their stories. I golf with a lot of women and they have, crazy stories about, guys asking them out on dates on the golf course, or
Okay.
they'll go
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
dates on the golf course and they have like these wild stories of, a lot of men just assume that we don't know how to play the sport. And so they kind of mansplain what's going on. And you sit
Yeah.
there like, I don't really need that, but thank you. So it's just going to be storytelling, interviewing women in sports in general. It doesn't have to just be golf. I want to get men on there as well, and just why men like to maybe play golf with women. Maybe they don't like to play with golf. Maybe just like it's just going to be a little bit of everything. I want to talk to just women in sports and empower more, women to be badasses.
Yeah, no doubt. I like that. Yeah, so I look forward
Yeah.
to that. Definitely will continue to follow your content, and hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah.
And talk. We'll talk maybe I know the Masters is coming up in like 2 weeks, but we'll talk more of the majors maybe in the next, later in the year, and
I love
see what
that.
else you got going on in the summer and things like that too. So yeah,
Yeah, Courtney.
we'll
Yeah,
for sure.
anytime. I'm always open to talk, and I love what you're doing, and we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate that. Highlighting the women of the month, and
All right.
yeah, good things.
Yeah, thank you. I know, but thank you again for sharing your story, and happy Women's History Month to you. And you said many blessings, and best of luck the rest of the year, and moving forward as well.
All right, I love it. Thank
All right.
you.
All right. Thank you. And that's a wrap for the show. And this will, we'll have this up by at least tomorrow. The episode will be up by tomorrow at the latest. So again, thank you everyone that tuned in. Appreciate it. And until next time, be safe and God bless.
Woo.